Namaste, Sagittarius. This is your Biweekly reading for the period of the 16th through the 31st. And we're going to jump right into it, beginning with Major Arcana card, the High Priestess in reverse. So the High Priestess, even in reverse, is a really, really spiritual card. Definitely guides us to pay attention to our intuition. Really listen to any messages that we get from our body, whether it's a gut feeling, or it is your intuition, or it's your wisdom, your intellect, before making any kind of decisions that you may need to make, like not rushing to judgment or whatever. Definitely taking everything into consideration and really weighing your options, and then making a decision about whatever it is on which you're focused. And the High Priestess often doesn't tell anybody what decision she made, like what her next steps are in any regard, because she just knows that sometimes when you do that, other people with their negative energy will mess up your plans. So better to let them see when you're successful, or to share your news after it's already in motion and there's no opportunity for anybody to ruin it. The High Priestess is a Gemini, or perhaps a water sign. Also upright immediately behind the High Priestess is Major Arcana card 8, Strength, which represents the energy of the sign of Leo. And strength is a wonderful card in any and every aspect of your life that it touches, if it's romance, if it's financial, if it's general energy. But in a general sense, it really means that you have the strength, the power, wherewithal, tools, however you want to look at it, to face any and everything that comes your way, to achieve your goals. So some of you may be going into something contractual, and maybe you want maybe a new job, maybe a new relationship, maybe a new home, and you're just not feeling necessarily up to par, which can actually be something that the High Priestess feels. She can, when she's in reverse like this, she can have like a body dysmorphia. Whether upright or in reverse, the High Priestess is typically somebody to whom a lot of people are attracted, in all different ways. So like people want to be your friend. People want to just be close to you, want to be in your circle. People are attracted to you, physically and romantically, and from a business sense. They want you to work for them or with them and all that kind of stuff. But when she's in reverse, she doesn't necessarily see it. And people that are coming toward her, she may be second guessing, like, what do you really want? Like, what's your motive? What's your MO here? And not trust that it's genuine, because she doesn't see her attractiveness in this moment when she's in reverse like this. So that can be another reason why strength is showing up, to sort of reaffirm, who she is, and maybe to help her through some sort of commitment, or something contractual, or additionally something spiritual. The Hierophant is here behind Major Arcana card Strength, and the Hierophant is essentially the male or masculine version of the High Priest, of the High Priestess rather. He is the High Priest, so they're like a couple, kind of. Could definitely be representative of some sort of divine partnerships for you guys, Sagittarius, either that you're already in, or perhaps from your past, that maybe you've had some trouble forgetting about, and they may have had some trouble forgetting about you. For some of you, it looks like whoever that person is, if that is the case, like that, yes, they had at one point felt stuck, wasn't sure how they could be with you, maybe because you are this High Priestess type, and you just too much for them. The High Priestess is only one High Priestess in the deck, as opposed to the Queens, right? There's 4 Queens. And so she's just like this larger than life figure, very wise, very mysterious, very spiritual, very like all knowing. And so it's hard for a mate maybe to feel like they measure up to all of that, and that they're worthy of all of that, and they deserve all that, this woman. So they could have missed out, and I'm saying woman because the High Priestess, but this could be male, female. It's really not gender specific at all. They could be acknowledging that they missed out right? And they feel bad about that, disappointed. How can I fix this situation? You know, I want out of this feeling of being stuck and like she's unapproachable, or like I'm incapable. And the King of Cups in reverse is an energy representative of somebody who's ready, willing, and able to do anything they have to when it comes to love and relationship in order to, you know, be happy and to make their mate happy. Possibly also this person is a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Or maybe this is more of your energy, like you're the Cuspian, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and you're the person that is wanting to go after something or someone from your past and bring it back. And you're going to be able to do that if you really put your mind to it. And again, it may involve breaking with tradition, perhaps. And it may involve your ideologies and belief systems, or, you know, so something, maybe spirituality versus religiosity. It can involve breaking with tradition. Are you up to it? Can you handle leaving things behind without concern about, you know, other people might think, or what society may say, or you know, or dictate about a given thing? And again, that King of Cups energy, if that's you, or that's your mate, that's your partner, says yes, this person is willing to do any and everything, again, to be happy and to make their mate happy, including throw caution to the wind and not worry about what society has to say about their relationship. Also, speaking of relationships, this is Major Arcana card 2. Twos are often about partnership and relationship. High Priestess can definitely be specifically about that. And it often is about a relationship where there is some sort of stark difference. So like one is black and one is white, like these two pillars here in front of King Solomon's house where Isis is sitting in this picture. Or, you know, sometimes the High Priestess is, again, older, wiser than her mate. So maybe there's an age difference, and that was sort of the problem. But again, the strength to look beyond any and all of that and still be successful. So now we're going to look for some new, fresh energies. I had previously, ahead of the reading, shuffled these cards for you, but I'm going to do it in front of you. Opening first to Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot, which represents your fellow water sign. Well, you're a fire sign, but represents the water sign Cancer. And now the 10 of Wands. This is your energy in reverse. So indicative of somebody like laying down their burdens. The Page of Swords also in reverse. A Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius perhaps, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Some minor conflict could be popping up with someone, maybe over a decision that you're having to make. But again, the Two of Swords in reverse. Two of Swords in general is about having to make a decision. This could be losing your patience. Like you really need to make the decision now. And it represents an energy of indecision, actually, because it's like, yes, I need to make a decision, but I haven't yet, because I really know what decision I want to make, what's in my heart, what's in my soul to make, but I'm concerned about what other people would think or say or do if I made that choice. So rather than that, I'll just not make a decision and like hope that it goes away. And of course it doesn't. So like I said, minor conflict over something like that could definitely be popping up. I'll do one more. And it's a positive one, and it's your energy. Major Arcana card 10, the Wheel of Fortune upright, represents the planet Jupiter, your ruler, and your sign, the sign of Sagittarius, as well as the fixed signs of the zodiac, Leo, fellow fire sign Leo, which Major Arcana card Strength represents, Aquarius, Scorpio, maybe that King of Cups, and lastly Taurus, the Hierophant. And that brings us to a new overall energy, the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Now I'm going to pull 4 cards for you. The first one will be the one that will most directly represent your energy over these next couple of weeks. And it does represent your energy. It's the Knight of Wands upright. So another fire sign, I think it was Leo, recently also had the Knight of Wands in this position, but theirs was reversed. Yours is upright, so you don't have to worry about the delay that they had to. Energies surrounding you, so close friends, family, maybe co-workers or something. Major Arcana card 13, Death, which represents the sign of Scorpio. This could be the King of Cups. Maybe they're an actual character in your life. Work, finance. And it is the element of Pentacles. I like when that happens. The Page of Pentacles. This could be something about delay because it's in reverse, but we'll see. And love and relationship, the 7 of Wands, where you make a decision. See, that's the funny thing about like psychic and intuitive readings. We saw, right, that a decision was coming up in a relationship before we shuffled and cut. And now we're getting another confirmation of that. Where you make a decision, you're being guided to stick to it. Unless you decide to change your mind, but not to let outside influences change your mind for you. 7 of Wands, all about, standing your ground. And maybe having to fight a battle, but you choose, you choose your battles wisely, as they say. And you decide when there's going to be a fight and when you're going to walk away and when you're just not going to give somebody your energy. It's all up to you. So beginning with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, your overall energy. I've said from the beginning, when your ruler entered the sign of Capricorn and then went retrograde there, I just felt really good about it. As a matter of fact, I was looking forward to it. I had started talking about it like a couple months in advance that Jupiter was going to be entering Capricorn. And of course it is there, along with Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, and Pluto, the ruler of the sign of Scorpio. So that could be another reason why the Scorpio energy keeps popping up. All 3 of these planets currently located in the sign of Capricorn, all retrograde. And there may be some transits with them during the next 2 weeks. I don't know. I haven't reviewed that, but that's a possibility too. In any case, the 10 of Pentacles in reverse for me is just really representative of that transit, and is super positive for you. It just says that you have so much to be thankful for and positive about and happy about, just especially despite what's going on probably around you, wherever you live, in your city, in your state, in your country, if you don't live in America, in your continent. I actually have viewers and subscribers and clients even on every continent of the globe except Antarctica. So you could really be anywhere, and wherever you are, despite what else is going on around you, life is good essentially. You're healthy, family's healthy, happy. It's like, what more can you ask for? So it warns us, because of all that we have all this stuff to be thankful about, to sort of be careful of like slipping into a sense of boredom and maybe taking things for granted. And, because when you're actually at peace, you can start to maybe cease to recognize everything that's so awesome around you. So you want to be careful. Count your blessings, at every and all levels, is what the 10 of Pentacles in reverse guides you to do. Let's see what's underneath it. Oh my God. It's the 10 of Cups also in reverse underneath it. And that 8 of Swords is still in reverse, and that's the next card. So yeah, this is just really about you being happy and secure and healthy, and your family being that way too. Loved ones, could be a time where people are wanting to share with each other, wanting to express themselves, wanting to tell another how they feel about them, whether it's because you guys are family members or because you're romantic interests or friends, saying I love you, or I miss you, and all that kind of stuff could definitely be in your next 2 weeks if you haven't heard it lately. Knight of Wands upright again is your energy, as well as that of Aries and Leo. And, it's about you receiving messages, and usually very positive messages. They may specifically be about work and career. It's often about that, or about travel. Wands are about movement and action. And so it's the messages tend to be in those areas as well. Projects that you have been working on, maybe moving forward, and if they involve you receiving some sort of message or decision or something from somebody else, you getting that news, and it's finding its way to you. Like I mentioned, Leo's night was in this placement, but it was in reverse, and so that was indicative of delays for their messages. But it looks like yours will be actually reaching you. This night also comes to tell you that your existing romantic relationships are probably about to deepen, or will deepen over this period. And those of you who are looking for love are, bound to find it too, quite possibly through work again, whether that means a coworker or somebody who maybe works under you, a subordinate maybe, or a boss. Or if you own your own company, maybe a client or a vendor, somebody that you meet through work, not necessarily, that you work with. Moving on to death, it's in this placement of like surrounding energy. So close friends, family members, again, maybe something having to do with work. In a general sense, it's death is about a transition, transformation. Something needs to cease to exist the way that it does. It can't exist in the same way again. That something can be a relationship. Maybe it is a job. You're changing jobs. You're getting a promotion. You're moving into a new area. Or maybe you're traveling. Maybe you're actually moving house or something. So that's change. I think that the change is positive based on the other cards that are here. Or again, a relationship could be moving forward as well. Never to, again, exist in its previous state. Or again, it's going to be about emotions and stuff, and personal transformation and changes. You may never exist in the same way again, that you have after these 2 weeks. And, it's like that T.I. song, the old me is dead and gone. And you turn into a new person. You're guided to be, accepting of the change and allow it to just flow and be organic. That's the best way to just transition. Make it a smooth transition, Again, Major Arcana card Death potentially represents the sign of Scorpio most directly. So moving on to your work and finance, the Page of Pentacles in reverse. I mean, I like the fact that it's Pentacles and we're talking about money and work and finance. But the page in reverse can be saying that you're overwhelmed, like you have a really, really heavy workload. Where you're able to ask for help, you need to, you should. I understand like in some jobs and positions, you may feel like you can't, like asking for help may give off the appearance that you don't have the skills, don't have what it takes. You're not able to keep up or something, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to find yourself out of a job, but asking for help is going to be better than not completing what needs to be done. So, I mean, you take into consideration what it is you do for a living with what you're overloaded, and if there's a way that somebody else can help you or others can help you, maybe some sort of collaboration, and if so, you should definitely go for it. And if you feel like there's no, even if you don't have, you don't feel it's okay for other people to help you, if it looks like you're not going to get your work completed, rather than let that happen, you should maybe speak to somebody at your job, even if it has to be like a supervisor or your boss or something, and let them know that you are taking responsibility and like a leadership role, through your honesty, and not allowing work to fall by the wayside, You want to make sure it gets taken care of because you care about the company. You're invested there. And that should I don't want to say get you some points, but fare well for you. That should fare well for you. In terms of finances, you may be like in the mood to play a little bit, gamble a little bit, and that's okay. It's not like you, rather than being responsible, maybe because you have to be so responsible at work. Like, so in your personal life, maybe you want to loosen up a little bit, and that's okay. It's not like you can't, unless you have a gambling problem. Then I'm not here to encourage you to gamble, but even if you don't, you should just do it in like a controlled, responsible manner. So of course you're not going to take your rent money and gamble that away. Don't gamble more than you can afford to lose. Don't use like lotto as your stock market, your investment strategy. So just create some boundaries for yourself and limits. And, other than that, have fun because you are in a position where you're able to. So moving on to your love and relationship and the Seven of Wands, in addition to what I already told you about, not backing down from any decisions that you make with regard to your own life and certainly your love life and your relationships. You had that Two of Swords. Two of Swords for me can also be about same-sex relationships or bisexuality. Maybe that's the thing that you're worried about people frowning upon, that you're not ready to maybe come out about. Or you are ready to come out about it. You're just not sure how people are going to feel. Again, we're standing our ground. But in addition to that, the Seven of Wands can be about the actual relationship and a need for communication. Definitely do not hold back or hesitate about speaking your mind, to your mate or intended mate if there is something that you need to communicate. It's only going to help the relationship. Like I said over here with the work, it'll fare well for you. If you communicate with your boss, same thing. It will fare well for you with your mate or your love interest if you communicate honestly what's going on with you or a given situation and speak your mind. If you're single, then again, this card can be about meeting somebody new and away from your typical spots, that you frequent. So maybe again, work. You could be somebody like I was up until one gentleman who would not date anybody that I met through work or at work. It was just like out of the question until I did, out of my usual haunts. So that could definitely happen with you too. Not necessarily at work, but out of your usual space. So maybe if you're used to meeting people in person, all of a sudden you're online meeting somebody, maybe on social media, maybe on a specific online dating site. And that's totally not you or not your speed, but maybe because of COVID, we're not necessarily meeting people in person. So we're going a different method. And then boom, Mr. or Mrs. Right. I think that's all I want to say about the Seven of Wands. Let's look at some cards from the other deck for you guys now. So here too is an indication that you guys are going to be all right. We're starting out with the Ace of Pentacles now. So we've seen two Tens of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups. And now this is another card of things going well for you, or particularly well for you. The inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, and important documents or contracts. That is followed by the Four of Pentacles, which is not one of my favorite cards, actually. This one is about holding on too tightly to something or someone, possibly an energy, whatever it is. It's the opposite of allowing a smooth transition and allowing something to die. This is keeping something in your midst that is not serving you. It's not conducive to your growth. Maybe because it's like the devil, it's familiar, whether it's work, a relationship, a friend, an energy. I just feel better behaving this way, an ideology. Oh yeah, I really would like to look into Buddhism, but I was raised, super Catholic, so I don't want to let that go fighting it. when your soul, your heart, your mind maybe wants to expand, right? So it's not helping you to remain stuck. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money is what the card actually says. Good business decisions and giving to those less fortunate. Three of Cups, very possibly about reconciliations with somebody, socializing. Maybe that's where you meet somebody, out with friends. Maybe you're introduced by friends. If you get invited someplace and you're able to go and it is conducive to, good health and social distancing or being safe or whatever it is you have to do, then you should definitely consider going. A celebration, a wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement, and the need to have more fun. And the next card is upside down, but I'm going to go ahead and mention it anyway because that's what it is. Another Seven of Wands. Defend your beliefs and decisions. Stand your ground. Choose your battles wisely. And the next card I'll mention too because it's your energy. Major Arcana card 14, balance or temperance, which represents the sign of Sagittarius in the tarot. The need for balance and moderation. Cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. So for me, temperance is all about restoration, recovery, being made whole. So where something was lost or taken from you, including an opportunity, something's coming back around or being restored, being replaced, or the equivalent of it is coming to you. Let's look at these two cards that just fell away. The Queen of Water, who is tenderhearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. And the Queen of Earth, thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach and deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. The Queen of Pentacles is... These are both nurturers. These are both perhaps women. Maybe this is the one representative of the or a same-sex relationship. Maybe it's two females or two and or feminine energies, an earth sign and a water sign. A Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Maybe most likely a Taurus and a Scorpio, because that's what I think we keep seeing. So I don't know. I think that may have been for somebody specifically. So I'm going to dump these in here and I'll take your advice from the next cards. I want to look for one from the other deck too for each. Okay. So for those of you who identify as a masculine, it's another death. Major Arcana card 13, death. All right. This one I did not shuffle, but this one I did. So it is what it is. You're meant to have these two death cards. So maybe also more so for a masculine than a feminine, you have to allow something to come to an end. Even if it's your own feelings, energy, sentiments about something, like just allow yourself to move on to the next phase of your life. It's time to release the past and to move on to something new. This ending is the first step on the way to a happier future. And for the feminine among you, the Page of Swords, who is logical, truthful, curious, and undiplomatic. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. The Page of Swords is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And as we talked about when we saw the Page of Swords earlier from the Rider-Waite deck, some sort of conflict may pop up with someone, very possibly at work. Masculine, the Eight of Wands, events moving at a fast pace, delays are over, and many things are happening at once. This is a card of communication, messages. So I don't know if the messages are coming from you or to you or both. but there's a desire in the air for communication, right? The energy of communication is definitely surrounding you. And you need to, there's somebody with whom you need to connect. I mean, sometimes the Eight of Wands and even the Knight of Wands can just be about like you ordered a package from Amazon and that's coming and that's exciting. But I just feel so much more than that with this, that there is somebody, again, maybe related to work or a relationship or something with whom you really need to connect. And lastly, for the feminine, Major Arcana card 6, the Lovers. So between the Page of Swords and the Lovers, a Gemini could really be particularly significant to you. Intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Good health. So where the Lovers is not about like a genuine, true love relationship, soulmate relationship, again, divine union, twin flame relationship. It's like the real deal, okay? True love. So it's possible that's a meaning, but another meaning, another meaning is a decision that's having to be made. And again, we saw that several times pop up in your cards. And it's a heart versus head decision. So similar to what we talked about when we saw those other cards, your head may be telling you something. You can't do that. You know, society doesn't allow for that. Or what would your family think? What would your friends think? It's crazy to change careers at your age. You know, all these things, right? This negative self-talk that we hear in our heads when we have a decision to make. And then there's what's in your heart, soul, gut, intuition is telling you that you need to do to go for it. So it's a heart versus head decision. It's a struggle, a power struggle between your heart and your head. I am going to recommend that you listen to your heart. And even where it seems that a situation can't work out, in my observation and experience and opinion, when we choose to follow our heart and our intuition, the guidance that the universe, that God is giving us, a way is made for those things to ultimately come to pass. And I wish that for all of you. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. Comment, ask me anything you like. I try to answer every single comment that I receive and see. I, don't charge anybody to talk to me. I never have. So you can also hit me up separate and apart from this. But supposedly, according to YouTube, the comments are very helpful to the algorithm, so I appreciate them. Also, of course, sharing, becoming a subscriber if you're not already one. And if you are already one, making sure that YouTube hasn't booted you off without your knowledge. So checking to make sure you're still a subscriber. And if not, hitting the bell button and the subscribe button again. And if you are considering becoming one and you decide to, you also hitting both the subscribe button and the bell button. I do appreciate it. Namaste.